Good morning, everybody. My name is Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. I was thinking today that maybe we would talk about the last 3 months. I'd like to just do a comparison from 3 months ago till now, because things have definitely changed in that time frame. 3 months ago, well, I was getting very little sleep. That's the first thing. I was getting very little sleep. And for me, life can take a real dive when I'm not getting enough sleep. I don't think as clearly, and it's just like most people, you are doing better if you have good sleep. To put it nicely, I was in a bad headspace. I was feeling defeated. I was focusing everything inwards on myself and not focusing on others. And I always do much better when I'm focusing on others rather than looking inward. So for me, that was a problem. I needed to change what was happening, and I didn't even recognize that that was happening to me. My daughter, fortunately, did. She saw the changes in me, and she said, "Mom, it's nothing to be ashamed about." She said, we looked into it. Anxiety and depression can be a part of Parkinson's. And rather than ignoring it and allowing it to get worse, I was crying. I was thinking my world was ending, and it wasn't. But that's how I felt. I was internalizing all those feelings, and then I wasn't a very nice person to live with, I'm sure. Luckily, my family puts up with me. But my daughter recognized it. She went and talked to the family doctor about it, and he agreed. He said, "Yes, I've known your mom for a while, and that is not what she's like." So he recommended that I take a small daily tablet every day that just helps me cope with the situation. I was fine with that. I'm not adverse to medication. I'm on a lot of medication, and I would prefer not to take things I don't need to take. But if it's something that's going to help, then by all means, I think that that's the way to do it. So he gave me a small tablet that would help me with everyday coping. I take it daily. Then he also gave me a prescription that was an emergency prescription. I don't take it very often. But if I have a time where I am very upset, or I'm getting some of those feelings again, I take one of the little tablets and it gets me calmed down. Because you see, it's a double-edged sword. If I'm getting upset because of something, then my medication is not going to work. Then if my medication doesn't work, I will get more upset. So therefore, it really truly is one of those things that if I can find a way of keeping myself calm, it's much better. So I definitely feel that the medications are helping, and that's all a person can ask for, is that, if you get the help that you need, then that's good. Now I wanted to reflect back on how my medications were working 3 months ago compared to now. Back 3 months ago, my levodopa, which is the synthetic dopamine that is used for my brain, I was on 18 tablets a day. I am still on 18 tablets a day. That part has not changed. My overnight levodopa, which is a slow release levodopa, I was on 1 tablet for overnight. I'm now on 2 tablets of the slow release overnight. The slow release overnight is definitely helping with sleep. So that was a very good addition. When I was taking the 18 tablets before, and I did it every 3 hours from 6 in the morning until 9 at night, and then of course I was off for the overnight medication, I had a lot of bad or downtime or off time. They're referred to all the same way. I had a lot of that. 45 minutes before I was even due my medication, my body would stop. I would have to wait for that 45 minutes. I would take my medication. I would then wait another 45 minutes. to an hour. And if my medication was going to work, then it would work. There was many times that it didn't work. And then I would have to wait until the next dose of medication, which was a long time. But if it was working at the best of its ability, I was getting an hour and a half of bad time and an hour and a half of good time in a 3-hour period. That meant that 50% of my day was bad or off time. I can't explain how that made me feel. That is the reason that I was anxious and depressed and having those problems, because I was in great pain. I could take no painkillers other than Tylenol, just regular Tylenol. That's what I take. So I don't take a painkiller, and it's very painful when you're in your downtime. Your feet are very rigid and it's painful. So 50% was not a wonderful solution for me. What am I doing now that's going to change that? Well, we've changed quite a few things. We just decided, we talked about it as a family, decided what was going to be the best thing, and as a family, we're working towards it. I'd never went outside. I stayed inside all the time, and my daughter said, "Mom, you need fresh air. Like, you just need fresh air." She goes, "You don't need to be around people, but you need fresh air. So if you can just go for a little walk, or if I can take you in your wheelchair out and we'll wheel around the buildings or go down to the gardens, we'll do that." So I do go outside now for fresh air. I manage my medications better. By saying that, what I mean is I take them on time. I don't take them early. I don't take them late. I take them when they're supposed to be. And we have discovered that apparently the amount of protein you have at the time of your medication makes a difference. So therefore, they say to have not as much protein right around the time. They sort of give you a 2 hours after your dose and a 1 hour before your dose as far as when you could eat your protein and whatnot. So I just time my meals accordingly, and I make sure that I don't have a huge bit of protein on my plate. And then that helps my medication work, which is nice. I like to say I try to maintain my cool. I try to not get upset. I'm not very good at that. I recently was told that my patch wasn't going to be covered by medical. That was upsetting. But I got over it and I said, okay, fine, we'll pay for it. Then when we went to get the patch, we were told it wasn't available. And then I was thrown into a tizzy because that patch is very helpful. Well, that wasn't true. They gave me some more samples and to get me through, and we have now found out that the pharmacist has been able to locate it and get the medication. So I have to try to maintain my cool and not get upset. My daughter also recently had surgery, and I was very worried. That's upsetting to me. Again, I had a bad week because my meds just didn't work when that was happening. But she's through surgery. She's doing really well. She came over to visit me today. She can't drive, but her friend drove her over so she could visit with me, and I felt so much better just seeing her in person. So I'm trying to maintain my cool and not get upset. I'm sleeping the best that I possibly can. There's been a few nights where I've had really good sleep, and there's been a few nights where I'm up all the time. But the nights where I get my good sleep, I most definitely have a better time the next day. So I'm just changing those things. Then we went and we talked to my neurologist, my main neurologist, and we discussed with her what is next. That's when we discovered that the patch was available to us. There is serious side effects from the patch. I think I have explained that to you. As you increase the amount of your patch, you run the risk of having hallucinations and whatnot. I'm on a very small dose, 1 milligram. Maximum is 8 milligrams. So I'm just trying to stay on the 1 for as long as I can, because by the time I get to the 8, my brain's going to be, muddled up. So I'm trying to just not project far in the future. Enjoy my time now. Okay, the patch definitely makes my medicines work better. So therefore, I have less downtime. Now, when I'm talking about my 3-hour cycle with the same 18 pills, I have about 30 minutes before my dose and about 15 minutes after dosing that are off times. And then generally speaking, if everything else has worked out, I have about 2 hours of good time. Now, if I have 2 hours out of every 3 hours of good time, that's 75%, I believe. No, 2 out of 3 hours. That's 66%, right? 66%? I think that's 66%. Oh, I'm showing my math ignorance now. Either way, it's better than 50. That I can tell you, it's better than 50. So I'll take those odds anytime. So if I compare 3 months ago till now, not as much good time, more good time, bad attitude. I have a good attitude now. I look forward to doing this YouTube all the time. I really do. And what do I look forward to the most about this? Telling my stories. So you know what? I'm going to tell a little story here about my daughter. She was, I think, 18 years old. She was just in high school. And we had bought her a little car. We called it the Shove-It. It was a Chevette. You couldn't really do anything to it. It never went very fast, but it never let you down. It just sort of chugged along and kept on doing it. We said, that little Shove-It, you can just keep on driving and driving. Well, anyway, she phoned us one night. It was about 9 o'clock at night. She'd gone down to the 7-Eleven. And she phones us and she said, Dad, something big fell off the car. We said, something big, like an engine? She goes, no, I don't think it's the engine. And I said, well, does the car run? Oh, it makes a heck of a noise, she said. And I said, oh, so it's a muffler that fell off. And she goes, well, maybe. Anyway, bill goes down. Sure enough, the muffler's off. So I said, the something big that fell off the car was a muffler. And we were able to get it attached back on the next day with, going to the welding shop. But in the meantime, we laughed about the something big. So if something big falls off your car, check your muffler. All right. See you all tomorrow.